Welcome to another episode of La Artisteada, the space for global culture shapers. Today we have the honor of being with Ezekiel Pacheco, an actor who is originally from Guerrero, but has lived mostly in LA most of his life, and who's been on incredible shows like Grey's Anatomy, On My Block, and who also starred on the feature film At the Gates. Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for that intro again. I like that.
Yeah, not the people know. We have to do these things.
I like that. That's tough.
I know. Thank you so much for being with us. Okay, so we're going to start with the deep questions. Tell us, who is Ezekiel outside of being an actor and outside of what the cameras and the people know?
Ezekiel, outside of acting, is a man who has been through a lot of adversity, someone who has endured a lot of pain, somebody who has come from almost nothing but has become something over time. Acting used to be my identity. Now it's more so something I do and a gift that I got from God that has blessed me a lot. So as much as I love acting, my purpose now with this is more so being more present and trying to live and trying to explore myself. The more and more I conquer myself, the more and more I become a conqueror, I guess I would say.
And when do you think that shift of like it being your identity to then being something you do came? Like what made you realize that?
I think it's happened more so now throughout the last years, with all the success I've been attaining. I used to put a lot of pressure into like acting is what I am and acting is what I do, and I'm still figuring it out as I go. And yes, it's what I do, but it's not what defines me as a person. You can be an actor, but if that gets taken away from you or whatever you do, like you as a host, if that gets taken away from you, that's not your identity. That's not Kiara. That's not, you, the woman that you are. That special woman is her because of what you've been through. It's just what I do. But I think I've been more so now exploring the fact that every little thing that I've been through has been making me a more whole and accepting, even if it was like a bad lesson or a good lesson. That's that. Acting is just where I get to express all that adversity or whatever that has been.
And how has that impacted the way that you interact with people in the industry? Because I feel like, for example, when you go to networking events, it's like your job is so much of how people perceive you, and a lot of people tend to like have that as their main part of their identity. How do you think it's shifted in like now that you're like, no, that's like something that I do whenever you interact with other creatives?
Well, I mean, I see you at these events a lot, so you know what it's like. And a lot of people go to these events, and it's kind of weird, like how people are, because it becomes very kiss ass and very transactional. I like meeting people. I met you, and now we're doing the episode. I met you, and we've gotten lunch many times before, and we've just talked as friends more so. That's cool to me. I enjoy that. It's not something that I do when I go to events just to like show you like, oh, I'm an actor. This is not what defines me. What's defined me is what I've been through. That's what's giving me a lot of connection. That's why people gravitate towards me, is because I've been through a lot of adversity. And I just bring my raw, true self. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. As opposed to like when you see a lot of actors at these things, they become almost like a fake personality of what they really are, and they're scared to show that true self. And
I love that you say that like this is part of the question of like who is Ezekiel like outside of being an actor, because I remember that when I was telling you that I did like the second season, you celebrated and congratulated me for that, and then after I think we wrapped or we filmed or it was like the launch party, you also were like, oh, let's go celebrate again. And I feel like that's just something that's so special that I don't think here I encounter a lot in terms of like people building community and people like actually caring about your friends' achievements. And we had like just kind of like just met, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this friendship.
Yeah, just because you didn't come off like this weirdo person who just, I don't know, we meet a lot of people all the time and they're pretty weird, and but every now and then you get to meet someone who's very genuine and who has a lot of passion. And I remember you telling me your stories about how you used to go from Tijuana to school over here in America and all this stuff. And I just thought you're very professional and very, you have a vision and you take it very serious. Like not everyone would be taking this as serious as you take it. you and your team. You know, it's nice to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing it blow up one day. So I have no doubt that's gonna happen with time. So.
I thank you. This is so nice. A moment to cry. No, thank you so much. And okay, so now that we've covered that part, we like talking about what's happening right now, right? And I think that one way that we can do that is through seeing what's on your algorithm. So what have you been seeing on social media, like maybe this past week, maybe these past 2 weeks? Like, what is something that has caught your attention?
Let's see. I don't know. I'm just always sending reels to my friends and whatnot, and it's a lot of bodybuilding, Cristiano Ronaldo, UFC.
I know nothing about that world, so explain more.
And movies and people like getting haircuts and whatnot. I don't know, just like random ass like videos that I get.
I love seeing those transformations.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know if you've seen, like, a lot of people have been saying that haircuts are like the men's makeup. Yeah. And I'm like, it's so real. Yeah. I'm like, people are so talented, and I think that like barbers are artists.
Yeah,
you
my
know?
best friend cut my hair. He cuts my hair. My best friend Alex Santa Cruz at the at his barbershop with his brother, they cut my hair and it comes out.
Is this a style that you've chosen for a long time? Is this something
Nah,
new?
I switch it up every other like few months.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
What do you think has been your most drastic change?
Probably during the pandemic when I shaved my head, I looked like an idiot. That was how to look.
And what prompted that decision?
I don't know. I was like, I think I'm gonna look really cool. It did not look cool. It did not look as cool as I thought.
Right now there's a trend because Maluma like shaved his head too, and then everybody's like, oh, let's like do that too. And I'm like, it generally looks good, you know. But I just going back to the barber thing, I'm like, it's really crazy that like people like change sometimes, and I love seeing those videos of like, oh, my girlfriend told me to come here, and then they're like there looking a little crusty sometimes, and then it's like, whoa, this person can look like that.
Yeah, some of the best barbers in LA at Pro Studios. Go check them out. Some of the best barbers out there. Yeah,
we're going to like put them here.
Pro Studios.
Some promotion. And how did you meet your barber?
My best friend. I mean, he was my first friend ever. I met him back in 7th grade. I had no friends at the time. I had just moved from this like really crazy school that was very violent, and it was like a little juvenile hall kind of middle school. You would get metal detected when you would walk in, and kids would bring like knives and like guns. It was a really crazy environment for me at the time, and I was fighting a lot because a lot of things were going on at the time. So I got moved from that school to this school called International Studies Learning Center, and I met my best friend Alex, who cuts my hair, and I'm very grateful for him, man. He's changed my life a lot. He was my first like real friend, and he's still my best friend now. I see him every day because we work out every day at 5 a.m. But he's been there for me in some of the darkest times of my life, and has helped me out. And he's about to have his baby. I'm about to be an uncle. He's genuinely like family to me. He means a lot
my
to
gosh,
me,
I love that. Did you support him when he started his business?
Yeah, of course.
Were you
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah. But
here?
he's been cutting hair. He worked with me at Amazon when I was delivering packages. He's a barber, and he has a lot of success doing that with his brother. So yeah, of course, I'm always here to support him, and I want to be here for his daughter now that's about to be born, and his wife. So.
Oh my gosh, so exciting, so beautiful.
Yeah. It's nice to have friends like that, and I have other friends too that have supported me and loved me over time, and just very grateful I got like real friends, around me.
Yeah, and okay, so let's talk a little bit about you switching into this this school that it was a difficult time, and then you went to this school. Was acting any part of this yet? Never
wanted to be an actor. It's not something that was like this passion since I was a kid. It just acting more so chose me. It wasn't something I chose. Even to this day, it's not this. It's a passion for sure, and it's what I do. But like, it wasn't something that I dreamt of. So sometimes I get in my head about it, and I'm like, oh. Well, I get blessed by it a lot, and then sometimes we'll go through these struggles of like the strike or like all these things that are going on, and I'm dealing with all this personal stuff in my life, and I'm like, well, when is this fully gonna pay off? Even though it has been paying off with time, slowly but surely, I'm ready to be crowned now because it's something that I worked so hard for. But I love it, and I'm very grateful. It gave me Just more so a dream. I know a lot of people don't have that, and they're struggling to find that, whatever that. It doesn't even have to be an actor. You can be anything you want to be, but some people don't even have the vision to be anything.
I'm wondering, you said that you never wanted to be an actor. Does that mean that you were like, I will never be an actor, or you didn't know that was a possibility?
I didn't know. No, I would never. It was not. I didn't think about it at all. Never thought about being an actor. There was little glimpses every now and then when I look back that, like, I remember for career day, I remember the actor coming and giving us his headshots. He's like, oh, I'm an actor, when I was like in 5th grade. But and I was in this little program in 7th grade for like troubled kids, and like we did a short film there, and I was the lead actor. But it wasn't. I didn't think I was gonna be an actor. I was a business major in college at the time.
Oh wow!
And acting found me at 19. And then when it found me, I thought it was gonna be this thing where everything took off right away, because I had this friend who was at the same program that I was at, and he booked the Disney Channel show right off his first audition.
Oh wow!
And I thought it was gonna be like that. And he bought his mom a house, and I got into acting because I found that he was making like crazy money, and I was like, oh, let me do this so I can get my parents a house. But
wait, you keep saying that acting found you. How did that happen?
well, back in 2016, shout out to Nathan Arenas. He was a kid who went to this program called AGB Studios. That's where I teach acting classes at now. That's my alumni. That's where I come from. That program gives kids an opportunity. If you sign up for the school, they also give out scholarships for underprivileged youth. Nathan signed up for the school. Out of like 200, 300 kids, only 20 people get in per course. And he got in. He went through the 6-week program, and then he got agents, and then he booked his first show, Bunked, on Disney Channel. Excuse me. And then later on, my dad heard about it on the radio, and he found out that my brother went to school with Nathan, and then Nathan blew up and became really famous, and he wanted to sign up my little brother. At the time, I was like, not for me, because I was already 19. And we signed up my little brother. He got into the program. The day we went to go drop him off, my mom had asked a couple weeks prior if I could join too, but they said, we don't take 19-year-olds anymore. The program gets cut off at 18. When that happened, I was like, all right, yeah, I don't care. Like, let my little brother do it. He's going to do it anyway. So the day we went to go drop him off, I went with my mom, and this kid got really nervous to join the program the day of, and he quit. As I was walking in, and the school director, Marcelo Gomez, he offered me the program. He's like, you want the spot? I know your mom asked. And thanks to my mom that, like, she asked, I joined right away. And yeah, 6 weeks later, I got some agents, and I kind of thought it was all going to be like that, but it became a lot different over time. I was becoming more so, I wasn't like an overnight success. This has been 7 years in the progress. But that has become a mission. I just jumped into it right away. I didn't think about it. It was just something that happened. Now, looking back at 19, I was super naive, not knowing how it was going to be. I just went into it blind. Now that I'm more aware, I would have made some different decisions and whatnot. But then again, I wouldn't change it to where I am now. So, you know.
Yeah, I find so interesting that your parents were so supportive of you joining the school. Were you mentioned that you were in like business. Did you drop out?
I dropped out right away.
Oh, wow.
I left. I was like, I'll see you later. I'm going to go be a movie star. It didn't work like that. And now I'm becoming one. Now I am. But I was like, I kind of thought it was going to, be like that right away. And it humbled me really, really hard. It took me a long time to like book my first job, like 2-3 years.
Wow. And I'm like, when your parents were wanting you to join that program, did they also have that same concept? And what was like the process of your relationship with your parents into pursuing this new creative career?
Well, they were supportive of me acting, but they didn't have the same support once they found out I was dropping out of school. Because it was more so a hobby and something I could do just for like fun. Oh, I'm an actor, but it was like playing the guitar, you know what I'm saying, for fun. They didn't know it was like a career, and I just bet everything on it.
Wow.
And I didn't know at the time how risky that was, obviously. But now they support it. Now they're really surprised, because it's hard to have a Mexican actor be somebody in this industry, especially with the little percentage we get. We only get like 3%, I believe, in the industry. Me not having my papers and having the same opportunities as my peers, I'm like 0.5%. I can't travel outside the country to go make movies. Not yet, at least I'm about to soon. but look what I've done with 0.5%. Things that haven't really been done before. I've worked really hard to work on my talent and my gift that I got. It wasn't something I was naturally talented at right away. I've worked really hard for this, and that over time has made me like more so like a generational talent and somebody that stood out, because like now I'm the first ever DACA recipient that's ever lit a film. Things that haven't really been done before that I'm doing, and it comes with a lot of responsibility too. Stuff that I wasn't aware of 7 years ago. I just wanted to buy my parents a house, but it became something different over time, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger. Really, really soon, I believe everything's about to like change, and I'm gonna be in the forefront of that.
Oh my gosh, that's like a very... You're part of history, you know? He's like the first DACA recipient to lead a movie. I literally, just a simple question, like, how do you feel about that? Because I think that it's huge, because you're representing like a large community, especially in these difficult times, you know, or the times that we're about to get into, given like the political situation. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel like I'm really blessed to be doing that. I've always known I was like special, and I say that humbly. But when these things happen, it's not surprising, because I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, and I've always known I was gonna be something great, and with time, it's been building slowly but surely. I'm glad it's been going that way too, because I think if it would have happened right away, I would have like fucked it all up. And it's best. I've been learning with time, so when I do receive all of it, I can handle all that pressure that comes with being a leader and being someone like a Denzel Washington or like a DiCaprio. When that time comes, I'll be ready. But I feel very grateful that God's been giving me these opportunities, and people are supporting me, and people are aware that I'm this prodigy that's gonna be changing the game really soon for everybody, not just our people, but also having different cultures around the world see that we're also a respectful community of artists, you know?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And then let's go a little bit back to your first paid opportunity. How did that happen? How do you think that the program also that you were part of influenced in your knowledge of how to get more opportunities?
The program helped me out a lot because it teaches you a lot about are we talking about AGB Studios? Yeah, that program taught me a lot about how to move throughout, how to start your career off. It gave me my agents. Shout out to DDO Artist Agency for giving my first opportunity. They were my first agents. Marcelo has helped me out throughout a lot of my career. They give you headshots and a demo reel, and Disney actors teach you how to act. So it's like this cool program, and it helped me out a lot. And then over time, I started studying at other schools, like Anthony Mandel. I was studying with Eric Gutierrez, who was one of my great acting coaches. But then the building blocks have built, and then people like Shia LaBeouf taught me a lot at that theater company I was at called Slauson Rec Theater Company. And then Ed Harris, who's a 5-time Oscar-nominated actor, who's my mentor and a good friend, has seen all this potential that I have and has taken me under his wing. And now he sponsors me for an acting school called the Imagine Life Studio. That's the studio that has changed my life. It has given me a foundation as an artist, and it has given me confidence to be a lead and be more so an artist than just an actor. There's actors that are actors, and then there's artists that are actors.
What do you think is the difference?
Well, actors that are actors are more so these kind of influencer. You can be an influencer, but like you can't be an actor at the same time. It's different. You can be entertaining. That's fine. Like you're a podcaster, but you're an influencer, but that's really what you do. Then there's artists, like when you see Meryl Streep, that's like a painter or like a sculptor. You see that respect, like, and then you'll see some kid on like a Hulu show or something who's like he just has a show. No disrespect, but it's just like they don't have the same aura. When you see Ed Harris walk in the room, that's like, oh, that's an actor. Yeah, I want that level of respect when it comes to it, because acting can be very ridiculous to me at the time, and I can. It's the truth. I don't always love it. I don't always have the same passion for it, and it's only when it's projects that mean a lot to me. I don't do it just to do it. It's something that has to represent something.
I'm wondering, and this probably has nothing to do, but it also has something to do. I think in my perception of like knowing you are more of an introvert, And I think that what you're talking about feels more of like very extroverted personalities that want to showcase more personality rather than focusing on doing
The craft.
Yeah. Would you agree, or do you think that being an introverted,
and
do you think
I can be extroverted for sure. It depends on the environment though. Like right now I'm a little more serious today, but
well, I think that introverts can be very like fun and outgoing, but I do think that there's like that.
Yeah, for sure. But and that's no disrespect to me. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I just want to be like, when I'm long gone, I hope people get to remember me as like a good man and a great actor. Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, let's go on the break right here,
do it.
because that was a perfect end. So then we're gonna go on a little break and then we'll come back. If you're a business owner and would like to promote your brand with our community, hit us up on our email at laartisteadapodcast@gmail.com. And thank you everybody so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe and connect with us on social media. We would love to hear from you. And now back to the chit chat. We're back from our very short break. So let's go back to your first job. What was it? Your first paid acting opportunity?
That was a FIFA ad. I thought I was gonna make like $20,000 off that. I only made like $200. I was all hyped. It was my first job, and it took me like a year to book my first job. And it was this FIFA ad for like FIFA 17 or something like that. And I was there for like a second. And I remember feeling so proud. I was like, wow, I'm on the internet. It was so cool at the time. Now I would never do anything like that. But at the time,
but you needed that first opportunity.
I needed that first. It was my first time on set, and that was my first opportunity. But the first, I guess, bigger check was like on my block.
Oh wow, that's a big first one, no?
Yeah, that's like that I consider my first real job.
And how did you get that? How did that come about?
I just auditioned for it, and my acting coach Eric Gutierrez, who was Ruby's dad on my block, he gave me that final push and was like, oh, you guys should go with him because I'm his teacher. And yeah, I'm very grateful for him too, because without him I'm not here either. So that I remember that, and the money I got from that I gave to my parents so they can pay off some stuff they needed to pay off. And yeah, I was very happy that project changed my life a lot. I'm very grateful I was part of On My Block.
Oh wow, okay. I want to talk a little bit also about like your family, and then also like working as an actor. How do you think, because you've worked with your family, right? Your family has a shop that you've worked at. How does building with your family like relate to how you're building like with creatives? What do you think are the similarities or the teachings that you've learned from this?
Well, my parents are everything to me. My little brother as well. You know, these people are the ones that I do everything for. This acting dream was for them. And my brother acts now too, and his name is starting to take off now as well. But the lessons my parents have taught me of humility and all the adversity we've been through together have more so made me more relatable to people, even if you don't come from what I come from. Even if it's people in the industry or not, people relate to me regardless, just because I know what it's like to be alone or be depressed or deal with a lot. You don't have to go through the same extremes as I have been through, but you can feel less alone when you see my work, or when you see me speak about something, you'll feel more connected with me. I guess it's something that I've noticed over the years, and more so this last year that I've been promoting my movie, and people that don't come from the same culture as me, they'll relate to me regardless of whatever happened. But I'm very grateful my parents have taught me that over time, and it's made me more aware, I would say, when I'm around that kind of environment.
You know, I think it's so interesting because I feel like with me, I'm like, my whole personality is so similar to my mom's personality. Like, if you meet my mom, you'll see why I am the way that I am. And it's so interesting because I think that has helped me in different settings. Like at my jobs, like networking, for example, it's really easy to me because my relationship with my mom and my interactions with my mom and how I see her interacting with people and treating everyone the same, I think has allowed me to be in these spaces and talk to executives literally the exact same way that I talk to interns. And I think that is probably also a cultural thing of how we as like Mexicans interact with each other.
But you're very you though. That's your personality. That's like a good thing. Most people put on that fake personality. That's like you, like this. That's Kiara. That's that. And people love that. Like I enjoy that too. Like I love how quirky and funny you are, and like you know.
Thank you.
You know, like little things like that. It's like it's funny and it's like cool. Like it's not, it doesn't come off unauthentic, and people would notice that. That's why people fuck with you heavy, and that's why your show keeps taking off. You know.
Thank you. But do you think that there's some aspects in how you interact with your parents that have helped specifically, like once you go on a show, or how these mentors? Because you talk a lot about mentors that you have. Like how these relationships with your mentors have developed. Do you think, like, how do you think that relates?
I think my parents have just taught me a lot of humility over time, and like I treat anyone the same way I would treat anybody, whether you have the same fame as somebody else. Like I don't care. Yeah, I'll treat you with respect. I treat the customers that come to my store with respect. You can be the most famous person in the world. I don't care. It's more so just about how we get along, and that's gotten me. I won't put anyone on a pedestal. I'm not big for idolatry or anybody. If we meet someone cool who's like really famous, you know, it's like fine, but like I care more so about the person. I'd rather hang out with you, who's building her empire, than to somebody who already built it, who isn't a good person. You know what I'm saying? And my parents have made me very aware of that. So treating everybody the same.
I'm like, yes.
You know?
And I would love to talk also about your movie At the Gates. How did that opportunity come about? And also when I was doing my research, a lot of people talk about how like you are so like the character that you play is very similar to your experiences, right? And so I would like to talk about that. Like, was that intentional? Did you audition for? I always say apply. Why do I want to say apply for the role?
Same thing.
Very corporate. But audition for the role. Did you know that was like you wanted to do that because it was so related to your experience?
No, I more so wanted to do a movie just because I wanted to just show the world that I can actually carry a movie. But the opportunity that happened just happened to be something relatable to me. It could have been a completely different movie. I just wanted to be the lead of a movie because that's where I believe my talents are going to be, and that's where they're becoming. But
wait, can you talk about what the movie's about, please?
The movie is about a mom and a son who come and help this rich family. They're housekeepers. My character is about to go away to college, but similar to what's going on in the country now, how they want to deport all the immigrants, that happens in the film. They take away his DACA program, and now this family asks them if they want to stay in the house. They can live in the cellar, and Nico's like, is this actually going on, my character? Or is these people are just trying to keep me as like slaves or like something weird? So you're figuring out whether or not this is actually going to happen, if this is actually happening in the world, or these people are just weirdos who are trying to keep them trapped in this house. So it's a social thriller. It does touch on the immigrant topic, but it's more so a story about a mom and a son and the adversity they go through of being immigrants and whatnot. It paints it in a different light because in Hollywood it's very stereotyped. The one thing I spoke about with my director is like, I'm gonna do this in a very different way from what it's been seen like in Hollywood. There's no stereotypes here. One thing I've vowed I would do is get rid of stereotypes in Hollywood when it comes to our people. I will do that over and over again.
Oh my gosh, but I'm like shocked I'm excited to see the movie, but I am just shocked at the message, you know, of like how fear, like if you are like figuring and navigating like the movie with the main characters, like how fear plays into how you operate and the decisions that you make, right? And I think it's so relevant. That
it also tells it from our point of view and also the rich family's point of view. So a lot of people love to be on social media posting hashtag this and hashtag that and we must do this and fight for this. But if the moment actually came to pass, would you actually help out these people? Everyone's really passionate on social media, but when the moment comes to pass, are you actually going to help? It's going to ask you that question. This is what the movie, it's real suspense. It's not fake suspense, you know?
Wow, it's so powerful. Where is it?
It's on Roku right now. It's coming to Peacock in a couple of weeks. Well, probably by the time it's out, I think it'll be out on Peacock. But yeah, I did really well. I won a bunch of awards, and when it premiered at Duo Film Festival, I got a 15-minute standing ovation. It just changed my career a lot, and it's let everybody know that I'm actually a genuine star on the rise. Oh my gosh,
I felt honored for being your friend, and I felt honored for having you. But right now that you like explained this, I'm like, oh my gosh, what an honor! Like I just feel more honored. That is so cool. And okay, so then You talked about changing like stereotypes. What do you mean? What do you mean that you acted trying to like break away from those stereotypes in the movie?
I just don't like that we get seen as a joke a lot of time. When you see someone like a great actor, you're like, wow, that's an actor. But when they see a Mexican actor, like, oh, cool, he's an actor. It feels like our people get kind of thrown to the side a lot of the time. Our culture gets seen as kind of like not as serious as the American culture would be seen. And our people are very beautiful, they're very strong. We represent strength and importance and love, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to keep bringing to the screen. That's why we get seen as a joke a lot of time, because whatever you see in Hollywood is like, oh, and speak Spanish on this line just to speak Spanish. We can go back and forth in English and Spanish, but there's a certain way to do that without it being stereotyped. I've been on shows where I had to look like a joke because I'm the Mexican kid on the show. I am an actor who happens to be Mexican, not a Mexican actor. Does that make sense? And not that that doesn't mean my culture is irrelevant, because it's not. It's what's made me. But when I see an actor like Denzel Washington, I know he's a black man, but I don't see him as a black actor. I see him as an actor, and he also happens to be black, and he's great. And he's pushed his people forward and been a pioneer for that. That's a very respectful man that's done that and has gotten removed a lot of stereotypes over time. And you can't help but respect that, because now his people are rising. And our people are rising slowly but surely, but I want to do that with time to get rid of that, because that also impacts our kids that watch movies or our communities. And with time, I believe people are going to respect us more.
You know, I think you talk about Denzel Washington, and I think like growing up, I loved watching like shows with mostly like black people, like That's Raven, or like Cheetah Girls, with all Disney Channel shows. But it's that range of things that they were doing, and it's just like very admirable and cool. And it's interesting that you mention it. And I would like to like go back to just talk about the current state of the industry, right? I think that the industry has been having shifts, right? The pandemic, and then the strikes, and then now it's going through a shrinkage. I don't know what to say, but it's shrinking.
Yeah.
What do you think that? How do you think this is impacting Latinos at this moment?
I mean, it's hard. I've only had like 10 auditions this last year. It's been really dry. Luckily,
and usually how many auditions are?
When it was really busy, I probably would have had like, when I first started off, I probably had like 50, 40. I believe so. It was a lot. It was a lot, counting commercials and stuff. But it's been really dry these last few years. Luckily, I've been working. Not a lot of other actors have been working, unfortunately. And I'm doing the most of what I can right now. Like, I have a play coming up with Bobby Soto, Clayton Cardenas, and Andrea Londo. It'll be my first play. So we're putting on stuff that our own opportunities more so, you know. But I'm working with on another script with my director from At the Gates. There's a lot of exciting things coming along, but yeah, I'm gonna make sure we have like an army of, you know, you're around that community of actors. We're making sure that changes with time, that, you know, we are serious on this side too. And we're artists as well. We want to showcase that to Hollywood.
Wait, and when can we see this play?
This play will happen in January. The details will be on Instagram very, very soon. We're going to start promoting it. It's called Jesus Hopped on the A Train. Very excited for this. My first play, and it's going to be a very exciting show. 6 shows. Gosh, I love it. It's going to be really cool. And Loose Films is producing it as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, I love Loose Films. Yay. This is very, very exciting. And then also, I would like to talk about like you talked about like this play. What are you excited about for next year? You know, despite this state of the industry, I think that it can feel often very like dark, and I think like sometimes like that there is a lack of hope in different situations, and specifically for people of color who are creatives. I think that it's kind of like a dark time sometimes, but we have to remain hopeful, you know. And so like, what is something that you are excited about, or that you hope to see in the next few years?
I do think everything
for your career and just generally also.
I believe everything's about to change for me really soon. I feel like I can feel it in my chest. Like, it's not, when I get this anxious feeling in my chest of thinking about the future, I think everything's about to change for me in a good way. And it's been proven over time that I'm a legit contender in this industry. So there's going to be a lot of exciting things. We're starting off the year with Jesus Hop the A Train, and then there's something coming out really soon. I can't speak on that one too much, but I think the truth is about to come to light, and people are going to see that I overcame a lot of adversity, and I'm going to be known not just as a great actor, but somebody who has endured a lot, and that my name is rising. Right now I'm the dark horse in the race, but people know that I'm the next one, so it's going to happen really, really soon. I have no doubt in my mind.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. We're honored right now. We're going to continue to be more and more honored by sharing space with you, which is super exciting. And advice. I love ending the episodes with advice that you would give. Maybe you mentioned earlier in the episode that you made decisions that you weren't, you were I dropped out of school and I don't know if I would do that again. What is the advice to someone who's starting not necessarily their acting journey, but a creative career, and starting at any age, someone who's okay, this is gonna be the moment that I'm choosing to take on?
I would love the craft, whatever it is you do. It's hard for me to be around people that don't truly love the craft that has blessed me so much. And I give everything to this because it keeps giving me life. It's giving me opportunities that I never thought I would have. I would love whatever it is, the heart of that craft, love that. Everything around it is not relevant. It's just noise. This is what's going to keep blessing you. The more you take care of it, it's like a garden. The more you keep taking care of that garden, that's what's going to give you more life. And love that. But also be very confident. I'm a big believer in being number one. I believe I'm going to be great. And I lose nothing by thinking that way. You should think you're going to be the biggest host in the world. Everyone should do that. If it's not your dream, obviously it's okay. But I believe I'm going to be one of the best to ever do it. And when I speak it, people get excited about that. And I work for that. I believe everyone should think they're number one. You don't lose nothing thinking you're going to be great. And that's how...
I love that. No, I love that because I think it reminds me of every job opportunity that I've gotten, every interview that I've gotten for a job I've gotten. But I always think it's so funny that in every job interview, I've told my future bosses, I'm gonna be the Mexican Oprah.
Yeah.
And they've hired me, so they also believe it.
I believe it, and you're gonna have a lot of success, and
Thank you.
It's gonna be very, very exciting in the future for you too. So.
Thank
We're gonna keep blowing up together.
Yeah, we're going to do a part 2 then with the audience and with the people just clapping.
Right. You see it already.
And then also just a little bit more advice right now. What is something that you tell yourself when things might be hard professionally, or things might not look maybe when things get stressful? What is something that you tell yourself that you think other people also should tell themselves?
I pray a lot to God and ask him for strength for another day, and he's given me that. And also, you're gonna go through adversity anyway, so it's more so how you react to that. I do a lot of things to help me stay in my strength, and going to the gym or working on my craft or helping out people that I can help out. But with time, the achievements that I've attained I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm not where I was here. But I'm about to reach this really soon. It's gonna happen with time, and just more so practicing patience. I've been real blessed with this craft and to be a special artist who represents our people and connects with people around the world because of this. And I just hope people keep feeling represented by my work and what I'm doing in the future.
That's very beautiful. You said something that reminded me about you're gonna face adversity anywhere, and I think that when I quit my corporate job, I was I rather deal with the struggle of knowing that I'm walking towards somewhere that I want to be.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm going to face difficulties and things are going to be hard sometimes, but I rather deal with those difficulties than being at a space that provides some security and comfort, but I don't feel like I'm going where I want, where I desire, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm I relate to that.
Yeah, that's all good. Adversity is great. There's no story without adversity. If not, it's a boring story. No one wants to live just a happy life. So that's
well,
good.
I would like to live a happy.
Yeah, so do we all? But and those moments come, but you can't enjoy it without these challenges you're going through now, and that's great. So when it comes all together, you're gonna be telling everyone how you left your job, and you're saying it now, but you're speaking it from the future, you know, and it's gonna happen really soon for you. So
yeah, it's very exciting. Life is pretty exciting for us. But no, thank you so much for being here. Like, again, I've said it a million times in this episode already, but we're very honored to share space with you and learn about all the really cool and amazing things you are doing, you've achieved, and you will continue to achieve, right? So thank you.
Thank you. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, and hope everybody left as inspired as we did after this episode. But yeah, go change the world. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of La Artisteada, a media collective for global culture shapers. Make sure to subscribe and let us know how your art is impacting the world around you on our social media channels at la.artisteada. This episode could not be possible without the amazing team behind it, Eri Jimenez, Diego Lopez de Anda, and myself, Kiara. See you on the next episode.